Good evening, every pony, and welcome to the Commentary as Magic stream on today's Sunday, September 19th, 2021. I'm, as always, Gren Paws.
Big Cheese.
Arquette and
Ivory Starlight.
And I'm trying to remember what we did 2 weeks ago, so I can say what we're back from, but I can't remember what it was. Adventure?
it was adventure, and that was because you were on a plane.
Yeah, you were.
I was on a plane, and then I was in a car, and then my mic was terrible.
Yeah.
This is a thing that happens.
You know what we've been doing the last 2 weeks? So much playtesting.
So much playtesting.
That's a dirty lie.
No, we've done a ton of
That's what-
playtesting.
That's what you've been doing. I've been over here doing art.
You have been over here doing
Eh.
art. So hold on, we're talking about
And
having...
clicking cookies. But,
I mean, sure.
No, I've automated my cookie clicking.
As you are supposed to do.
Correct. Well, no, but yes.
Well, yes, but actually no.
But actually, yes.
Yeah.
But actually, no.
Well, if we combine the efforts of playtesting and art design, I guess that leads us into spoilers?
Kind of.
Ish.
It's more like a playtesting update.
Yeah, that's probably more apropos. So, we made some changes to Fond Memories. Ara, you want to talk about what's going on?
Well, we're gonna go with the major ones first, which is, I think we detailed these a little bit in Discord if you were paying attention to that. But the Princess Lunamane, the yellow one, the start site of that, I think that's our first image here.
Yep.
Mhm.
Was a little bit kind of annoying to flip, actually. Just has a bunch of constraints on it, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, that's not great. She needs to be easier to get turned over.
To get turned?
To get turned, correct. But if we just sit there and do something like, oh, I don't know, just flip 2 cards on her start side, why would you ever turn her over? That just seems like really good on a main. Especially the start side of a main.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, you really don't care what the boosted side of your main is. It's like the inverse of Grogar. Actually, no, it's exactly
The same as Grocord.
It is exactly the same as Grocord.
So, flip
So,
2,
yeah.
but ignore 1. Seemed a little bit more reasonable. And this also gives you twice the chances, of course, to trigger her flip condition, while still meaning that you don't feel terrible if you happen to flip a 1.
Right.
She's also twice as flavorful now.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the start side, you have double the cards being flipped, and on the boosted side, you have double the power on the card if it meets the 3 or less printed power.
And it should always be. Obviously, you should always be going for 3 here.
And she is, she has double the abilities on her start side now, too.
It's a double-sided card.
We should add Diligent 1 to her boosted side so she has 2 abilities there as well.
No. No.
Diligent 3, Granny Smith.
Give her competitive 1. Sounds good.
Competitive 1, Calming 1, Diligent 1, just all the ones.
Random 1.
Judge.
Random 3.
So part of the reason for wanting to change this, other than the fact that she was a little challenging to flip, was the fact that on her, if all you had was her boosted side and the older flip condition, as several playtesters pointed out, you were almost always better off just running Rainbow Dash Wonderbolt. So doing this incentivizes pushing Luna's build strategy a little bit more and provides a little more uniqueness.
Which seems good. let's see here. I think the other major change that we've pushed out, if you'll go to the next image, is also, oh wait, spoiler art. The card formerly known as Changeling Factory was just
Perfectly
a
fine and nothing wrong whatsoever.
Yeah.
tiny bit, like, extremely broken, to the point where basically we looked at it and said, throw that entire design out, because that was just problematic, is how we're going to put that. And so the card got rearranged, but it remains a yellow super rare resource because that's the card slot that needed filled here. And it kind of goes along the same lines. And so now it says, as one or more of your token friends enters play, you may exhaust this card and choose another of your token friends. If you do, those aforementioned token friends enters play as copy as the chosen friend. So you kind of get the same thing going on where you can be like, I would like more of this one kind of token friend that I have, but you're not allowed to have all of the more of the one kind of token friend.
There were just too many things that you could do with multiple versions of this card.
How many unicorn tokens did it ended up making? It's like spike number?
Yes, it was spike number at a minimum. Or you
So-
could get like a billion bunyips.
Go ahead, see, you can't exhaust or
I
make all
don't
of these lose abilities.
know if you need that many, but
Yeah, it was just very, very tricky to try to manage how to make that work, and having it only work on token friends that were already in play didn't do any good, and having it only work on friends that entered play after the fact still allowed you to do all the enters play shenanigans. And I owe Silver Quill another quarter.
Yes, you do. That one, we got like video evidence of that one.
Yep,
You're actually going to have to pay him for that one.
I'm keeping a tab. But this should hopefully allow the card to still feel like an exciting super rare that allows you to do some fun shenanigans. And the fact that the tokens will remain as copies of the chosen friend permanently does provide a little bit more value over time than what the previous card did. It also makes it nicer if you have multiple infiltration orders in play simultaneously.
Also,
Because-
hello, yes, hi, I'm pulling that reference back out again.
It's a good meme.
I actually didn't even notice that was what it was called until you read it out loud.
yeah.
Smithers is going to wake up and be annoyed.
He'll be alright.
Okay, I think those were the two big changes.
Those were the two changes that we ended up making after Wave 5 had already been cut.
There's a handful of other things.
Yeah, Wave 5 actually saw a number of changes that took place. We're not going to be going into all of them in full detail, but we will be taking a look at a few cards that have been pretty much finalized.
Let's see. I don't think there was anything else major. There's a couple of minor changes. I think the most important one here is there's a card that got the word random added to its game text.
Terrible. As long as,
Oh.
unless it's the random keyword, then that's fine.
No. It's a game text, not as a keyword. So it's the
It's
good
part of the
kind
game
random.
text.
It's the good kind of random.
The other balance that we ended up seeing was the adjustment of a few cards to bring their costs and powers up somewhat to make it so the most expensive friend in the set did not cost 4. Because sometimes you want cards that are going to cost more than that in certain decks that definitely are just going to play those cards for their cost and not cheat them into play through any other means.
I'm gonna X it out here.
It's probably wise. But anyway, why don't we take this opportunity to take a look at a few cards that we may be excited to showcase and maybe spur some more deck building ideas?
This sounds like art spoiler time.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
This is the part where you get to show your work in front of the class.
Half of this stuff's already been seen if you were paying attention. Yes, okay, fine. I only stream at like the midnight hours
Whenever you feel like it.
when I have time and am not being crushed by work.
Disregard work. Acquire art streams.
But
Or
that's
crush.
how I buy all these plushes. I need to go to work so I can afford plushes.
This is the primary reason for work is plushes.
Correct.
Did you actually put yeet in that flavor text?
Maybe.
I don't think she actually says that.
Doesn't say any of the other things there either. So, but tell me that Rainbow wouldn't be all over using the word yeet. That seems like her kind of thing.
I mean, she would. Now, someone in Discord had suggested a theming for a few cards. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think that was funny. So, this was one of the first cards that got flavored. And I think we were talking about this at one point. I may have actually forgotten that we spoiled this previously. But someone saw this and was just like, Rainbow's just out there committing crimes. And I'm just like, you know what? Yes, actually. Pony's committing minor little crimes, like, the cool crime of property damage. And so I sat there and I'm like, okay, we need all the main 6 breaking the rules. And so you can keep an eye out for those.
What, the main 6 as criminals? Low key?
Well,
Loki.
no. So the problem here is that crime in Equestria doesn't work that way. Like if you pop a Philly's balloon, no. Rainbow Shine did that. We all know what happened to her. But if you're gonna sit there and like try to suck all the magic out of the universe, whatever. That just puts you like into counseling for a few weeks. It's fine.
I hate the fact
You
that
get
you're right.
sent back to Magic Kindergarten.
Oh yeah, if you brainwash an entire town, then just back to Magic Kindergarten. No big deal. It happens to every unicorn.
So mechanically speaking, the card is obviously going to be a welcome inclusion for blue decks and nice in limited as well, since it is a common rarity.
Common rarity, it's not resource removal, but
It gets the job done.
Resource stop being annoying.
it 100% gets the job done. It's immediate speed, so you can be really annoying with it. This is just kind of good. I like it.
You can also transform it after you use it. I don't know why you would, but you can.
You really need to disable 2 resources. So you're just like, bam.
Or you wanted to do some face-off shenanigans and I don't know. I'm sure there's some reason you would want to do that.
Well, keeping in mind that the Rainbow Sea Pony isn't the hasty one, I don't know. It's a line of play for sure. I'm not entirely sure if there's a particularly good situation you want to do it in, but having that option there to take a pair of resources out, even if it is kind of expensive, well, this will get it done.
Next card.
Twily.
What was that about crime cycles?
Oh, don't worry. She'll commit a crime. The crime of cheating cards.
No, she's missing royalty in her traits. Oops.
So she is. Quick.
She's not royalty anymore. Crown rejected.
Not after that felony, she's not. Maybe that makes her royalty.
There's also a space missing between 2 cards after draw. God, who proofed these things?
I don't know. We don't. Well, we haven't gotten to the proofing stage yet, so there is that.
Is this 2 cards like 2 chains?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
So training, obviously one of the newer keywords. Nice to see it with reminder text here.
This is going to be a little bit interesting to get the training effect off of this, given that it's 3 power.
There's a space missing in the text.
I mentioned that already.
Oh,
It's
God.
reminder text. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
I have a feeling that the decks that are going to want to run this won't have too much trouble getting that training too.
To work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of synergy with discarding cards and granting additional power. And hey, every aggro deck loves effectively 2 cost 3 power friends.
Even if you're not getting the training too, it's still efficient 3 power.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. And it's got very low rec.
And we all know how much we love having events in the discard pile.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in purple.
I mean, not
That's
anymore,
just kind of
but
where they end up.
Well, they end up banished to the moon, but they're not there yet.
they're in the discard pile until you until you school shut down.
So you can use them again.
That also seems fine.
This is definitely a really strong card that you can expect to see in a few different styles of play.
Yeah, training is not the flashiest keyword, but you'd be surprised how much value it can add over the course of a game just to help you dig and filter your hand. We haven't really had effects that have been repeatable or pretty widespread that let you do that in the game. It's usually been on just kind of single cards.
Yeah, blue has had a chunk of it,
But seeing quite a few of these effects in the course of a single set is going to be interesting for sure. It'll definitely help form a build archetype in limited and maybe in constructed as well. So next card.
hey, I thought we banned this card.
It's ya by F-stop!
I hate it already.
This picture is like a second after the old f-stop. I love it.
Yeah.
So he's back.
Kind of. Technically.
With his wings tied.
And a restraining order And also someone seems to have attached this inconvenient ball and chain to one of his legs.
So,
So you do get some of the same shenanigans.
what with card recursion?
Yeah. But you can only do it once a turn. And only for very specific powers which you have to build up to.
And it can't be one unless you can remove a power counter.
Yes, but I guess you'd get back a 1 power friend is what you'd have to do.
And it's not like, there aren't some good ones of those on them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the interesting thing here is the original f-stop was, I believe, restricted to events. This guy? No, doesn't matter.
You can take pictures of anything.
That's right.
Now, this is a card that Meticulous Talks spent a good amount of time last Saturday, not yesterday, but the week before, discussing. And there are obviously a few synergies that come to mind right off the top of your head. For example, using this card in conjunction with Rockhoof's Shovel can let you rapidly accelerate to whatever card you want to get back. But you don't need to wait that long to get back some of the more powerful cards, because many times, as Hithrock pointed out, events have their printed power somewhat keyed around the impact that they make. With
So
the
you got a really splashy event that's got high impact if you play it. Well, odds are the number in the corner is not going to be that big, because if you can play it for huge impact and flip it for huge impact, it gets a little bit too good.
So with a single power counter, F-Stop would be able to bring back a card like Heatwave every turn.
Oh, look, he's an orange.
Hey, how about that?
Well, and you'll have to forgive the reference here, but he's either going to dodge pumpkins or airborne trixies.
Yeah, you'll probably have a parachute.
Because this boy's got a target on him.
Yeah, any deck running this is going to have parachute.
You're going to need him.
It's a high rec. It can be hard to play if you're trying to legitimately play it. Not impossible, but just challenging.
It's also pretty expensive, but not hilariously expensive.
I can definitely see Reanimator trying to run a copy or two of this.
Yeah, I'll consider it.
And it may be enough to push orange-white control in a good direction between Sweetie Belle most traditional, that can not only disrupt your opponent's deck, but also filter through yours and then drop an F-Stop later in the game to get back some of the cards you threw away earlier.
Maybe. How many sets have we said that at some point orange-white's going to do a thing, and when it does a thing, it's going to be feared?
A while. Still hasn't
It's-
happened yet, but
It's been at least 2 or 3.
Okay.
I think we tried orange white for adventure. It just
You did.
wasn't orange white enough.
All right. I think that's still going to be holding true here. Like at some point, it's going to do a thing. Maybe not this set.
We'll see.
It can definitely be annoying. But can it win while being annoying is the more important question.
Next card.
She's so cute.
And she's very sorry she scared you.
Whoa. Hold on. This card is orange and yellow.
Uh-huh.
Why does it say hasty?
Because sometimes keywords escape their bit of the color pie.
And because Flutterbat
Also, did you
is
see her?
hasty,
Like, she's screaming around at Rainbow Dash-like speeds, like ripping bits of people's costumes off. Spike lost an entire head.
That's
She got
true.
Yeah, she got somewhere to be.
And that place to be is right wherever you're starting a face-off right now.
Yep.
Something like that. Oh, and also, it's got transform too, so you can just be like, this Fluttershy? This isn't that shy Fluttershy. This is angry Fluttershy.
Yeah, playing this with whatever the bounce Fluttershy is sounds good.
Fluttertone.
No, the bounce
Kind-
one.
Oh, kind
Kind
of.
Pony.
Kind Pony.
Fluttertone also bounces. That's why he said it.
Yeah, but that's not the bounce one.
It is a bounce one.
Yeah, playing it with
It's
Kind
also
Pony
like
pretty
EO.
good. You can also play it with Flutter Angel, that one.
The one that comes into play when your opponent confronts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's also very cheap. So that
Yeah.
seems good.
Yeah.
It would normally cost 2 to play, but you can put it into play for free when an opponent confronts, and then you can use that as a 2 AT discount to put this thing into play, and then this thing gets bigger and makes opposing things smaller. And then if the opponent still manages to confront in the future, you can drop Fluttershy again.
Yeah. All about that value.
Yep. Also, we now have an infinite Fluttershy transform cycle. Hooray!
Hey, you can just bounce back and forth between the Sea Pony and this.
Yay.
One of those is much better than the other.
Yes. Just a little bit.
Sometimes we do things because they're funny, not because they're good.
Correct.
This is going to be a nice little trick. Also, it is worth noting that this is a 2 printed power card in orange and yellow. Guess who likes cards with printed power 2 or less in orange and yellow?
Bugs.
Luna?
Bugs.
Specifically a bug that is shaped like a reindeer.
And seems to have gotten into a fight with a crayon box.
Yep. And also Flutterjack, that also works. Who you can also transform this card. Oh man, this is
This
That
just automatically goes 3 of in that deck, doesn't it?
It might, depending on how many other Fluttershies you're running. There's a good chance.
I don't think I would get rid of transform treading water for this, but
If you have multiple Treading Waters, I would.
yeah.
If your treading water is somehow at home because some person we know is playing go home.deck.
Everything must be at home.
I like this card. The more I look at this card, the more I like it.
Yeah, this
And
is really strong.
It's probably why it's a rare.
The other fun part about this is there's a lot of good promo art. So, spoilers.
Cough, cough.
No, don't cough cough. That's bad now.
Oh,
Need
that's right.
animated cards.
We'll just get a AAA game development studio to do the MLP CCG. Who wants to buy this license, yo?
Oh, they technically work in TTS.
Could actually do it in TTS. Now that I think about it. But no, we're not going there.
Next card. Okay. With a set named like Fond Memories and this particular moment, you had to know this was coming. We couldn't not do the... They're both basically the same character shtick.
Mine's
Both-
more of a glimmer.
They're both the same pony.
Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two ponies.
They're the same pony. I see what you did there.
I think we've talked about this card without art on it before.
So this is going to be some shenanigans. Just because you can sit there and just be like, but aha, you thought this was over there. It is not. And because this is a send, you can't sit there and pull out some of the reaction-like things. Reliving history, for example, won't work on this because it just gets sent.
Or Storm King or Luna Midnight Movement Tax.
Yeah,
Nope.
just slides right under those.
What about Baby Flurry Heart?
Nope.
Nope,
Nope.
not a movement. Sadly, this doesn't trigger any move triggers.
Correct. That is the backside of that particular sword. It dodges all the movement taxes, and a lot of things could be used to undo a movement, but it also doesn't trigger any of your, beneficial movement things. Weird how that works, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I want to use it with Spike. I want to have 2 spikes.
Right. That's why you can't has.
Correct.
But there's a lot of dumb things you can do with this. Oh, there's a frightened Bunyip staring down at the Storm King. It'd be a darn shame if, I don't know.
I'm waiting to hear where this is going, where you are running Storm King and Bunyip and a purple event. I think the answer is Thorax.
I think the answer is, in fact, Thorax, yes. Just be a darn shame if the traitor to the Hive were suddenly up there,
Okay.
all up in his face.
Okay, this is spicy because now you have just created Defend the Hive copies 4 through 6 for
Only
Thorax
when you-
purple.
Only when you're in
If
purple.
if you have another character there.
No,
Sure.
it's even better than Defend to Hide, though, because you don't have to pay the 2 to move the traitor up there.
Well,
Go.
Defend the Hive is normally just paid to move Thorax at immediate speed.
Right, but that would cost 3 because you'd have to pay the Storm King's tax.
Oh, okay, you're talking Storm King. I just meant for like orange purple Thorax aggro using this to quickly switch places with a single token that you put into play at the other problem.
Wait,
And-
orange,
Orange?
purple with a yellow
Sorry.
mane?
Sorry, yellow purple.
Okay, I was like, wait,
Okay.
how does this work?
I mean, let's be honest, there's probably some orange cards in that list anyway.
Probably.
I want to see someone do that. Have a deck with a main character that is unrelated to the colors of the rest of the deck.
Cult Leader Starlight would like to say hello
Yeah, that's true.
and welcome you to our town.
You know, we've seen actually quite a bit of activity surrounding Thorax Purple recently. Kevin ran it at Continentals. Bugle is running it as one of his decks in the Invitational, if I remember correctly.
That could be fun.
It's a good deck.
And now we've got this as an option as well. That's kind of nice.
It's a little bit of spicy there. This is another one of those scenes where there's a lot of alt art, promos.
Next card.
Smile, smile, smile.
Speaking of promo bait,
Yeah.
this is promo bait.
Probably not as much as you might think.
It has a whole song.
There is a whole song. Not a whole lot of it involves this many smiling ponies.
You only need one smiling pony.
Did you read the flavor text?
Yes.
One smiling pony is insufficient.
You can
Mhm.
change the flavor text.
We need multiple smiling ponies. Like all of them. The entire town, in fact. Except for that one.
He smiles eventually. Spoilers.
Yeah, are you really going to call spoilers on something that's
I know what deck I
8
would like
years old?
to put this card into.
What deck would you like to put this card into?
One of the decks I'm running for the Invitational.
Yeah, I'd also like to do that. This would be kind of nice in the cadence list.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's both removal or like slow down farm and searchiness. Yeah.
Find everything except Miss Main.
Yep.
This is kind of expensive, but that's okay.
You get two
'Cause-
things out of it, though.
It does a lot of work.
It does.
It's going to be
Also-
nice.
It also flips for 6, which nothing to sneeze out.
No, it's not.
Especially not in pink, where you can just be like, I'm going to go ahead and set one of these on top of my deck with a pinky sense. Yeah.
This is a really good card. I know that Bugle has gushed quite a bit about this card in particular and the plans to include this in, well, basically anything that's running pink.
Yeah, there's so much you can do with this. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Bugle, this would be up Bugle's alley. Bugle, of course, being Pinky and Cadence #1 fan.
Well, I think
Right.
this is his favorite show song.
It's a good song.
It's a lot of people's favorite show song.
It's not a better way to be bad, which is its real problem.
But it's
That
also
already
not,
had a song.
but it's also not mechanically a better way to be bad, which is a good thing.
That's true. Better way to be bad. It's kind of a bad song.
Animoy says hoof bump. I agree. See, that's you could do the hoof bump frame. That'd be perfect promo art. All right, we got a couple cards left. Let's take a look.
What else we got? A princess that would be described as OP.
Imba.
That's a little bit of an effect here. Okay, so you don't get to bank action tokens, like at all even. So if you're using an immediate, you better have an AT generator at immediate speed or some kind of cost reduction at immediate speed. On the other hand, you get 2 more action tokens a turn.
Sounds good.
Twilight talking to Celestia. Can we get on even ground? Celestia, we have on even ground at home. On even ground at home.
This,
Only affects yourself.
Correct.
well, it only affects yourself, and it's even worse than on even ground because this is at the end,
End
of your
of turn
turn,
rather than
not
start.
at the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In different to another card, you can't lose action tokens.
Now, that being said, there are a few ways around it. Yellow and purple both have some AT gain effects that can happen at immediate speed with Sunburst and Starlight.
I've got an even better way around it.
What's the better way around it?
Go back to card number 3. Disable this thing during your main phase.
Sadly, that only affects opposing resources, intentionally so.
Shame.
Yeah, nice try. I thought of that too, but I'm like, no, that would be dumb.
Dumb or good?
Dumb.
Why not both?
Now, for anyone who really wants to see a tangent on this card, go watch Meticulous Talk stream from last Saturday as they try to figure out any possible way that you can give this card to your opponent and put it on their main forcibly without it falling off. There is exactly one way to do so right now. That's all I'll say.
That is so not worth it.
It is not. But it's funny.
That is true. It is funny.
How are you going to?
Do this to an
Okay.
aggro deck. Aggro deck doesn't care.
Aggro deck is like, thanks, bro.
It seemed kind of suspicious.
Now, being able to recoup this card's play cost with it being in play for only a single turn is pretty good. So if it sticks around for one turn, you have only spent a card from your hand to be able to play it, plus the cost of, whatever losing all your action tokens looks like, which really means that you're just paying to draw or playing out your curve exactly.
Right.
If it sticks around for 2 turns, it's very good.
You're starting to make profit. Now, the main question as an opponent here is, should you remove this?
If
'Cause on one
someone's
hand,
running it, they're going to run a deck that basically doesn't have immediates.
Or has ways of gaining action tokens outside of this.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to sit there and weigh your options versus what you think they're going to be doing. Yes, hypothetically, they should have built a deck that can more easily handle this thing's presence. But it also means that you basically don't have to worry about them messing with you on your turn unless they've obviously got some way to reduce their costs.
Right. Calm Soul in chat says, it's too bad this couldn't stay on permanently. You could combo. I don't know exactly what you're referring to. This is a resource. It does stick around in play. So maybe you can provide some clarification as for what you mean.
Yeah. And it's also unique, so no doubling up. Sorry.
Correct.
Aw.
We need a Trender Hoof, except it removes unique from everything.
No
We do
cards
not.
have unique.
Oh.
Cards with unique no longer have unique. I don't know how you would format that, but
That's a fun one. Okay, so the Dr. Hooves main. What can you do with 7 action tokens? Can you get him flipped over and do the thing?
Well,
I don't know.
there is a certain number of action tokens you need to be able to make the Dr. Hooves loop work. This helps. But is also in some different colors, so who knows?
Well, and it's going to be more effective the later in the game you get, simply because it gives you more action tokens on top of however many you're already going to get. So that
Right.
sounds like a fun combo deck for somebody to try to build.
There you go. Let's see what you got. Post it in the Fond Memories Discord channel. Okay, I think we have 2 more cards for tonight.
It's a problem.
Not an Equestria Girl song.
this is such an underrated song.
It's a good song.
Let the rainbow light you. Wait, this is the Equestria Girl song, isn't it?
It is not. This is the
I would-
season 4 song
I
that
would
played
like to
after the
direct-
Tyrek fight.
Your attention to the 6 ponies, not humans, that are on this card.
The Equestria Girls song is Shine Like Rainbows. That's the one you and I were thinking of. And we're not going to
Yeah.
print that on a card.
Why not? Oh, good. But don't put people or quest. I don't even know what you call them. EQG characters on it. Put ponies. on it.
Pedestrians.
Yeah, we'll put pedestrians on it.
I love that is the term that has been selected for those.
Well, the best part about that was someone's hot take on Twitter, and then someone from show staff responded, and they're just like, "Dang it! Why did you steal that? It's so good. Now we can't use it."
It is pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, this is a 2 bonus starting problem that normally requires 8. It doesn't really require 8.
That's a
I
7.
mean, it's generally gonna be be a 6. If you're running it, it's going to be a 6. But that's still kind of high for a starting problem.
Well, and
Run
then there's
Cluj Town, discard a bunch of stuff.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, then there's people who run like 3, 4, 5, 6 color decks who are gonna look at this and be like, okay, I'm down.
Play the mythical aggro student 6 deck that just plays a bunch of cheap, like 1 cost and 2 cost friends in every color.
I'll put this in Legacy Mosh Pit. I'm fine with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would. You would.
You're talking about the premiere one, right?
Yup.
You play like four 1-cost friends. Oh, look, I'm confronting.
They're all different colors.
Yeah.
I would put this in a nice calm ordinary day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those look pretty suspicious. Those look like changelings.
Actually, I know it's a starting problem, and the number of decks that might use it as a starting problem is less. I think this might be a 2 of in Reanimator.
Because you're gonna have all 6 colors anyway.
Yeah.
Any tricorn is enough to solo confront this.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
I hadn't even considered that until now. I swear I'm not just sitting here throwing stuff at that deck. Wait till you see the amount of discard pile hate that's coming in this set, okay? There's a lot.
There is a lot.
Don't worry, they don't believe you.
I mean, they have no reason not to. The, whole set's mechanically public? Question
Right.
mark.
This is a good problem in certain decks.
In certain decks. I'm gonna run it in mono blue aggro.
You can do that. It is more efficient for you to run than guilty until proven innocent. In that it would be a 7/8 in that deck with a 2 bonus instead of an 8/8. You just wouldn't get to move your main for free.
Seems worse.
It is worse.
Does seem worse.
No, it's totally fine. Run it, cheese.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not like you confront your own problem anyway. That's what all the dilemmas are for.
True. Okay.
Last card?
Last card.
What do we have here?
Puppies.
What is it? That's an ultra rare.
Puppies.
Oh my god, she's so sad.
I'm going to point to the flavor text on Tarnished Reputation. This is why Zippo is sad.
it says tricks in the flavor text.
Zippo tricks. Nice.
It wasn't even intentional.
Whatever you say.
Now we need a Zippo with transform
Into what?
into a different Zippo.
That's
Any
not
Zippo?
that's not how that works.
Cheese just wants multiple shots off of this to sit there and just be like, you can't have have action tokens.
Because that worked so well the last time that happened.
Look, there are already multiple ways to do it, okay?
How long until this is the new tandem?
Well, see, the problem is there's already a new Tantabus.
Tantabus?
Yes. Except it's a friend, not a troublemaker.
Right. It's also in purple. You probably run it in this deck and just demand your opponent pay you all their action tokens.
Would. That's cruel. That's exactly the kind of thing that I expect purple yellow would do.
Right?
You mean not create a bunch of critter tokens and move everything home?
Nah, this is purple yellow control, man.
That was purple yellow.
That was
control.
purple yellow control.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was
I forgot
Puppies.
about that deck.
So Wee puppies.
They were snacks back then.
That's
Yes, they
right.
were.
They were snacks.
Snack
Infinite.
duck.
Infinite number of snacks.
God, I missed that deck.
Well, there's multiple. Well, I guess you could do that again, couldn't you? You got the F stop.
Yeah, you don't even have to cheat and use Mistmane this time. You can actually use F-Stop. Just splash 2 other colors.
It's not the same.
Well, that's fine because that deck was a problem.
It made Nightmare Moon very unhappy.
It is the one thing that Nightmare Moon is afraid of. Puppies.
So with this, you've got options for like Luna's Future and Sanctuary Scuffle. And in Adventure, you have Interdimensional Portal. And you can also like shuffle this card back into your deck with, whatever that card is called, the pink-purple resource.
Okay, so hear me out. Okay,
Okay.
you're gonna Rain Boom into School Shutdown. And shuffle some number of these back into your hand. And then your opponent loses all their tokens.
Okay. I like it.
Road.
No, here's what you do. Somehow get this and Rock Shovel into play turn 1, and then F-Stop also in play, and then play Interdimensional Portal so that you lock your opponent out of ever having AT.
That seems like too many things.
No, it's fine and totally possible.
No. Here's what you do. You go into white, and you play this with Herd of Adoring Fans and Infiltration Orders.
Nope. I'm already done with this.
Let us have our actually impossible to perform hypotheticals. We don't ask for much.
And then that's not impossible to perform. That's like 2 cards, and it's within these colors. You only have to splash white.
You're gonna then like try to put a Trender Hoof down, aren't you? So that whenever these things enter play, they just automatically poof. Ew.
Sure. Okay. No. Here we go. It's genius. Are you ready? You're not ready.
No.
I don't think no, I'm not ready for the 400 IQ play here.
We're going to somehow. Okay, we're going to play this in Adventure with Conductor's Baton. So Zippo has 3 power, right? And then we're going to use Rarity to bonate this to our opponent. And then we're going to... Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. We also have to bonate the Conductor's Baton. That's fine. We score a point for doing that because they have 2 cards. Then we confront a problem with Yona, and then we bounce this back to our hand, and we lose 2 action tokens.
What did it cost?
Everything.
Everything.
But now we can replay Zippo and do it all again.
Perfect. I balanced.
And look, we get to run Power Overwhelming, so we're going to lose all our action tokens anyway. So it doesn't actually cost us anything. We just get Zippo back in our hand to bonate the next turn with Rarity, and because they still have a Conductor's Baton, we're still scoring a point every turn.
This is the dumbest win con for a combo I think I've ever heard of.
Yes, especially since it requires 15 turns to go off.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's actually more than that.
Can I subscribe to your newsletter?
15 turns after you have all the pieces.
Assuming your opponent doesn't do anything about it.
No, leave the Rarity there. Nothing bad will happen.
This is great. I love it.
This is shenanigans. Why do you do this?
Because we get to have ridiculous conversations like this. Look, if we can...
Combo o'clock is 6 hours away. What are you doing?
Comboing. Kind of. Badly.
Okay, that's what's going on here. In
Bet.
6 hours, you'll come up with a combo that uses this that's actually good. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I mean, if someone can, we'd like to know before it ships.
Yeah, please. If you can actually break this card, please do so. Boy, we've given the chat a lot of homework this stream.
Animoy's over here like suffer not the combo to live.
Right.
Oh, Calm Soul, excuse me.
Yeah.
I need to go put my glasses on.
Comsol, is someone doing multiphysics? What?
See what you did there.
Well,
Yes.
I think that's the last of the spoilers / art reveals.
At least for this time. Keep an eye out for the random art streams.
They're a
We
lot of
also-
fun.
Don't like announce those with great fanfare, so you gotta pay attention to the Twitch chat if you want in on that.
Or the
Is-
random
is this-
Discord announcements.
Is this where I get to be like, subscribe, and
Ring the bell for more.
Ring the bell from what? Yes.
Smash that like button.
I mean, you can actually turn Twitch notifications on if you want to get notified when he does do his art streams.
So there you go. I think I could almost unironically say
Yeah, like, the meme aside, that does actually work.
You won't even have to suffer through ads for this week's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
I knew you were going to do that.
Of course he did.
Because if
It
you
could-
didn't do it, I was going to do it.
Right.
Wait for the G Fuel sponsorship.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I was afraid you were going to say something related to Gen 5.
I was going to say NordVPN.
No, get out.
Ara's favorite sponsorship is NordVPN.
No, forget that. Like, your PSA is don't. There, I said it.
There you
Or
go.
Honey.
Also don't.
Anyway, that will about wrap up our discussion on all those non-sponsors for today. We would like to give a big shout out to all our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. If you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy what we do, please consider donating. Doing so does enable us to continue making content like this without Raid Shadow Legends ads, and lets you earn some great perks as a bonus. We have permanently removed the ability for us to get official sponsorships by making fun of all of them every time. I don't
That's
even
fine.
feel bad. I don't even feel bad about it. If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way, feel free to reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, or email. If you're a patron, you can also chat live with us on Slack any day, anytime. We're usually up playtesting for invitations right now.
You are. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule.
Boo. Finally, if you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel, linked just below the stream. With all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary is Magic. I am, as always, Grand Paws.
Big cheese?
I'm really tempted to see something about Raid Shadow Legends here. America.
Oh, sorry, I was drinking my new Venom sponsored G Fuel.
No.
Oh, that was my Google Pixel going off.
Oh my god.
I'm Ivory Starlight. GP's about to fire me.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.